feel like rain in the morning, giving me mixed emotions, and it's too much sometimes. Mix the potion, mix it up, girl, put it in motion.
Welcome back to another episode. Today I want to talk about something that everybody talks about: rear track correction in the Land Cruisers. Let's go. What I want to address is expensive ways to do it, cheaper ways to do it, what I've done in the past and what I just did just then. Might give you a little tip, you might not be able to see it, what he's done. Cost effective without A, engineering the car all over again, and B, future-proofing the car. Before I go any further, check out the jumpers. Logo on the back, logo on the front. Right here in the grey, black writing. Also got hats on the online store. Check it out, exploringontop.com. I just want to clarify real quick. 76s, right? They have a different diff housing to the 79s and 78s trip carrier. They are braced, those two. 76s are not braced. When I say braced, if you actually compare the two photos, I'll try and upload some here. The actual housing itself on the 76 is just a tubular one. On the 79s and 78s they're exact same, but underneath there's kind of looks like a bit of bracing compared. Now I'd say that's to do with the GVM on these. Obviously from factory now is a bit different, but previously 3060 on these and 3300 previously on the 79s. Now if you follow along with any of those other boys and girls that own a 76 series, you'll know how much or how prone they are actually on snapping the housing, usually on the shorter side, right where the leaf spring is, the U-bolt I should say. And if you've got airbags in these, the helper kits, apparently it, you know, will not double your chance but makes it worse. So let me show you what I've done. Alright, what I've done is the housing on this car is the exact same, but I've gone for the J-Max axles. These are, I've gone the EN26s, obviously factory length, not track corrected length. And what I've done is sent the car to an engineer and got the entire rear diff housing braced. So they welded 4mm box underneath it, spot welded it everywhere, and then where usually they crack, fully welded it. Alright, that's an effort to get under the car. I'll flip yous around and I'll show you exactly what's done. So this is the short side. Generally they snap right in there where that U-bolt is on this housing. So we've put this on. This goes all the way to where the leaf, the little locator pin is on the diff. It's fully welded under there, welded under here, and that will support that. This is the long side. So again, full box, spot welded along there. Again, goes all the way down to the leaf here where the locator is there. So those mounts that mount on top of this leaf pack that is actually on the housing, this goes up to and then fully welds underneath it. So it's not here to have a GVM upgrade because that's already done. All it is here for is to go on rough corrugations and we're good to go. Alright, so you want to know pricing. What that cost me. $2 for the axles off J-Max online for factory length, EN26s remember. The engineer was $2 as well, on the dot actually. He had to pull the entire lot out, drain the oil obviously to weld it, put it all back in, and he put the J-Max axles in for me, took the factory lines out, and yeah, it was $2. So it's a $4 exercise to do that to your cruiser. So I went down this road, doing that to the rear of the cruiser, purely because we're going to be hitting some corrugated roads at the end of this year. The last thing I want to do is crack or snap a factory diff housing. The axles are going to help me there with towing, and the benefit is those factory axles that were in the car, they're actually still really good. So hey, I've got a spare set if I need to put the factory ones back in, if the J-Max ones ever break, all good with that. and the bracing. That's all I wanted to do to the rear, again, just so I don't shatter it. So I got quoted to put the J-Max rear in about 8 grand. And then also I wanted the Superior one, full track correction, that was about 10 installed. These are all installed prices. So quite expensive, nothing wrong with them. That's probably still the best option if I was to give anyone of you an option. So really, in the scheme of things, it's not a bad price. 4 grand pretty much sorts the issue. Doesn't sort the track issue, obviously. If that's going to bother you, definitely go with the actual diff housings that the good manufacturers will do. So these are what I had on the Cruiser before. Offset wheels, neg 50s. Jeez, it's heavy. I'm just weak as jeez. Neg 50 offset wheels, just sunnies, sun raisers, black ones. They were actually perfect. Nothing actually went wrong with them. I just wanted alloys. That's why I had to go with them. I know ROH, all those sort of companies, they do a neg 50 for the back, but again, you know what cops are like, they're cracking down. That is actually illegal. So the second option that I used to track correct was this. These are spacers for the rear. These ones in particular were Superior Engineering. Again, nothing went wrong with them. I ran these all through that South Oz trip, up the east coast of Australia. We went to Queensland in these. There's nothing wrong with them. They were actually great. I just don't have a use for them anymore because I'd rather that set up there where it's legal. I don't know about insurance, if these will avoid it. I'm sure they could if they were the cause. Again, same for the neg 50 offset wheels. They could, I'm not too sure. But if you're gonna put this sort of stuff on, my recommendation is definitely just do it right, you know. Get the right ones, don't get alloy is what they say. Put the steel ones on, this is steel. Torque your nuts to spec, and obviously Loctite, do what you gotta do. Just do it right, because at the end of the day it is safety. It did play in the back of my mind quite a bit, having these on with the family in the back and towing the van. Look, again, nothing went wrong, which is good, but still, it's in the back of my head, you know what I mean? Alright, enough about the diff. Got some goodies right here. Let's crack it open. These are from GSL Fab. Oh, that's the bluntest kitchen knife I've ever used. Oh my. Oh, bit of a card from GSL. Woohoo! Enjoy your product, Chris. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. What we have here, ta-da! A new breather. Obviously, I'm running the. Oh god, that's bright. Obviously, I'm running the ProVent 200 on a Mark's 4-drive adapter on the Land Cruiser. My turbo did start to leak as well, purely because there's too much pressure. So, talked to a couple of mechanics about it. They said, get rid of the ProVent. This is the next best thing. This, awesome. This will reduce crankcase pressure. Honestly, I need to go to freaking school. Just got to put the Land Cruiser in the garage to work on it. On a side note, got to move the M3. Cracking car. 110% would recommend a BMW M3. Is a daily driver for the missus. Every time I get in, sitting on the steering wheel. Also got the Moonlight Fab intake, goes all the way to the turbo, so no more silicon. That's a 3.5 inch. Sick. Shout out Moonlight. That intake goes all the way down, all the way into the turbo in there. Righto, that'll do for this episode, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button, like and comment, follow us. We've got a lot more trips coming up this year. Follow us on Instagram and that new platform, Threads, I think it's called. get on there, we'll be on there. Message us, send us a DM. Also, we will be at the Sydney 4x4 show. Cruise will be on display again this year, so catch me around there.